Do you love wrestling? Do you love all elite wrestling? Make sure you check out the good, the bad, and the hungy here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. My name is Tyler Fornes, and my co-host Fred Moreland and I discuss all the happenings of all elite wrestling across the universe, including when they make trips overseas. We talk about Dark, we talk about Rampage, we talk about Dynamite, and everything in between, including Tony Khan and his both brilliant and confusing booking. Make sure you check us out. We drop our shows on Thursdays to make sure that we keep up with Dynamite and make sure we give you all the current happenings in all elite wrestling.
Hey kids, do you like wrestling? Well, we like wrestling too. We are Shake Them Ropes here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Myself and Chris Novembrino kind of doing a lazy river of wrestling criticism, going through the news and whatever happened in stateside television wrestling. And also, you know what? Sometimes we just like to watch old stuff and talk about that too. Love for you to give us a listen. If you haven't already, we are Shake Them Ropes here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Here we go! Kiss me like a love star. So I'm gonna call me. Whoa, whoa, 君へ片思い涙の失恋も Give me two, give me five, give me double titles.
You're listening to the Emerald Flow Show on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
Welcome to episode 36 of the Emerald Flow Show. We're a podcast on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. You can follow us on Twitter at Emerald Flow Show, and you can listen to us on all of your favorite podcast apps. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. You can also go to voicesofwrestling.com/donate to donate to the show if you're feeling generous and love our work. Paul, we have a lot to talk about. A lot of unexpected things to talk about, but how are you doing?
Doing okay. Work is finally slowing down, so I'm not doing as much overtime as I was doing last time we recorded, when my brain was just actually just melting out of my ears. So no, I'm doing fine. Drinking some Korean rice wine right now.
Oh, nice. I've had rice wine before. I didn't like it at first, but once you, I guess, try to force yourself to start drinking it, it grows on you.
Yeah, no, like most alcohol, really.
True, but I thought that one with the rice wine particularly. So we have a lot to talk about. We have some big Noah shows. We have everything up to the finals of the Champion Carnival to talk about. So I think we are going to dive in here. So we'll go back to the end of April and start with Pro Wrestling Noah at Korakuen Hall. And they drew 1,028 fans, which is big for them in Korakuen these days, Paul. What do you think of that?
No, I think I'm kind of happy with that number. Like, it is down from what they drew for the Harada retirement, but again, that was a significant bump for the Harada retirement. But it is like way up from what they were drawing previously. Like, this is like double of what they were like kind of drawing on average in Korakuen Hall last year. when he really were just mostly drawing 500 people. So I think this is definitely an improvement, and I think it helps that they put like the junior tag titles on these shows now because there's like something to sink your teeth in. And I also thought that this crowd was great because I think we've both been complaining about
Yeah.
lower crowds being quiet, and this crowd was anything but quiet.
It was an awesome crowd. So we start off first match. Ninja Mac and Lancelot defeated Hayata and Super Crazy in 8 minutes and 35 seconds with the Phoenix Splash from Mac on Crazy. You can probably figure out what this match resembled.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Ninja Mac is the only wrestler in this match that I care for or think is any good.
yeah, no, definitely. I think I really have a feeling that Lancelot's tour, like I think it's wrapping up now, and I don't know. I have my doubts that he will be brought back.
We'll see, but I don't know. I could see him being brought back. Like he doesn't look as shaky as he did when he first showed up, but
I mean, okay, here's
whether
the
or not
thing.
you
Do
think
you
he
think
deserves to be
he
brought
would
back.
be brought back if he was Super Crazy's nephew?
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So yeah, it is what it is. And then next up we had Daiki Inaba and Atsushi Kotoge defeated Katsuhiko Nakajima and Hajime Ohara in 10 minutes with the kill switch from Kotoge on Ohara. Yeah, this was a good match, I thought. I mean, it was only number 2 on the card and everything, but I mean, with the talent involved, it delivered.
Yeah, no, it was good for what it was. Just a nice back and forth match. But yeah, no, as you said, good for its spot on the card.
And then Yoshinari Ogawa and Chris Ridgway defeated Seki Yoshioka and Alejandro in 9 minutes and 57 seconds with the onslaught from Ridgway on Yoshioka. I really like this. I wish we were getting more feuds for the junior tag titles with matches or teams like this. I thought Ridgway and Yoshioka worked great together with Ridgway going after Yoshioka's leg.
Yeah, no, the match itself, I liked that match as well. But my question is more for like the post match when Eita came out and just like, okay, what was Eita's plan here? Because he came out by himself and just attacked Ogawa and Ridgway and then just got beaten down and just left laying in the ring. Like what exactly was his plan here?
Well, see, Paul, you run into the big problem, which is really your fault because you've decided to think logically about the booking of the Noah Junior division.
Yeah, I think no. I mean, to be
And
fair,
at this point, that's all on you.
no. I mean, yes, no. I mean, I will slightly disagree because I think actually a good chunk of the junior division isn't actually booked like horrifically. Like there is some logical booking here, but where I will agree with you is that like I'm trying to apply logic to this feud specifically, which just as we will get to
this
later,
one's especially.
is just completely devoid of any logic or any kind of meaning.
That's for sure. Like it's especially glaring and stuff like that. So you can't think about it too hard. Doesn't mean you have to like it, but I would recommend not
I
thinking
definitely
about it
do
either.
not.
Next up, Naomichi Marufuji, Masa Kitamiya, and Yoshiki Nomura defeated Jake Lee, Jack Morris, and Anthony Green in 1442 with the Tiger King from Marufuji on green. Again, another really solid match. I really like the way that Green and Marufuji work together. That's actually a singles match that I'd like to see.
Yeah, no, I like that one as well. And given some later results, I think maybe that is actually something we might see at some point. But yeah, no, I thought this was solid as hell as well.
And then next up, the Congo team of Keno, Manabu Soya, and Shuji Kondo defeated Kaito Kiyomiya, Sean Legacy, and Amatsuka in 9 minutes and 34 seconds with a King Kong lariat from Kondo on Amatsuka. Paul, we'll get to the post-match in a minute. But a couple of things here. I did really like this match. Legacy continues to impress. But do you think that like Amatsuka is now getting downcycled?
I feel like he definitely is starting to get downcycled. I mean, at the
Like he got his little gold watch
Yeah,
reign
yeah.
because he is older.
I mean, he like they still came out to his music at the Sumo Hall Show, so I don't think he's like completely getting just like completely downcycled now. But yeah, I also doubt that he'll be back in like the singles title mix anytime soon. But I could definitely see him become like more of a guy in the junior tag like division now. So, which obviously is downcycling, but I think that's still like above where he used to be because he was basically like one of the lowest juniors on the roster like
Yeah.
2 years ago. So he is
Yeah.
getting down cycled, but I don't think as much to like where he like the low levels where he used to be.
Yeah. And then next up, we had the returning Junta Miyawaki defeated Hiroki in 8 minutes and 23 seconds with a
Do we
modified
not want to
guillotine
talk
drop.
about the Suwama attacking in the
Oh,
post-match?
sorry, post-match angle. After the match, Suwama came out and attacked Keno.
I mean,
And
he got more heat
Paul,
here
so
than he did on like All Japan.
I know, more heel heat.
Yeah, people are actually
But I
booing him.
mean, he is the outside invader, so it works.
Yeah.
But I will say Suwama looks so much more cool like doing this than anything he does in All Japan these days.
Yes, no, he looked really cool here, just coming out in his fucking leather jacket and just like that power bomb also looked great.
Yeah.
So no, I thought that
and,
that was a great angle, and I think it worked really well and like setting up the title match and everything.
Yeah, we will get to that later, but we do have a date for the first defense by Keno and Soya of the World Tag Team titles. And then next up, the returning Junta Miyawaki, who's now sporting another new look, defeated Hiroki in 8 minutes and 23 seconds with a modified guillotine drop, as I said. Paul, I didn't think Junta blew me away here, especially as a guy that I thought that they were positioning as like their next junior ace.
Yeah, I think like he weirdly also looks like he aged 10 years in 2 months, right? Like, is that
Yes,
just
he looks
me?
a lot
Like, he
older.
looks so much older now, but he's only been gone. Like, he looks so much older than he did at the like when last we saw him, and that was only in March. Like that's the weird
Yeah.
thing. Like I don't really get like who knows what he saw in Mexico. But yeah, like I agree as well that like he didn't really blow me away, and I thought this was like a logical result, and I thought this would result in a bit more of a push, but that's also questionable, as we'll get to later.
Yep. Maybe they're not happy with it. Like, they send him back to Mexico, and then they bring him back.
Yeah.
And then there's some interesting booking on the next show that we'll get to. So.
Yeah, I thought he might be the next ace, but now I'm definitely not sure. But that also means I'm not sure like who's the next guy up after Hayata then. If I don't know.
Well, maybe not Yatsutaku Yano because
Yeah.
there's still no word from Noah
Exactly.
on him or Kinya Okada.
Like that's exactly my thing as well. Was like, okay, but Yano is missing in action, and then it's really kind of like, I don't know. It's definitely not going to be Taiji Ozawa because he'll be heavyweight.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see where this all goes. And then next up, Hideki Suzuki, Timothy Thatcher, and Saxon Huxley defeated Takashi Sugera. El Hijo did Dr. Wagner Jr. and Shuhei Taniguchi in 12 minutes and 36 seconds with a Japanese leg roll clutch hold from Suzuki on Wagner. I thought Huxley looked like shit early on in this, but then he just, gets shunted off to the side like one does in a multi-man tag, and I thought like all of the Suzuki versus Wagner stuff was awesome, and it really hyped me for their match.
Yeah, no, that was really good. Yeah, as I said, like Huxley. I mean, I somewhat enjoy the kind of energy, I guess. Like him and Thatcher have like kind of like I like that, but yeah, then it's just like the bell rings and there's just nothing there with Huxley, so that will always be a negative.
You're right about their energy because it's really interesting because it's like some of the most energy that I've seen Thatcher ever have.
Yes.
Like a more traditional like heelish energy instead of just being like stoic.
Yeah, but then Huxley wrestles and it just falls apart from there.
Yeah, but he can be hidden.
Yeah.
I think as this match showed, and I would argue the match on the next show did as well. And then in the main event, Yohei and Tadasuke defeated Dragon Bane and Alpha Wolf in 1816 with a cut back cradle from Yohei on Bane to make their first defense of the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. Paul, this is all action, all serious, no bullshit, and I thought this was the best junior tag title match in a while.
Yes.
Especially because it didn't overstay its welcome.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I love this. I gave this one 4 stars because it definitely wasn't like, for example, like both of us are like Yohei and Tadasuke defenders, but I don't think either of us would describe either of them like, or would describe them as like polished workers, right? Like the
Yohei kinda.
Yeah, but like still like what I really liked about this match, that it had just the right amount of sloppiness. I think the fact that it wasn't really super polished really helped this match, where like it was just kind of a bit sloppy, and that just really helped just like this really energetic, just chaotic feel that this entire match had. So yeah, no, I thought this was awesome, and yeah, I fully agree that this is the best junior heavyweight like tag title match that we've had in a long time now. Probably, I don't know. I'm actually trying to think back what is like the last like junior tag title match that I like.
Well,
If
there
not
was
of
some
this
great
one.
stuff last year with Ogawa and Ridgeway.
Yeah, no, like
But then Ridgeway had a visa issue or whatever it was.
yeah, and they had to like yeah. So probably need to go back all the way there. But yeah, no, I really really like this one, and it also helped that the crowd was just ate all of it up as well.
Yeah. And then, so that was that show. And then we move on to May 4th. Today, as we record this, it's May 4th, to Majestic 2023 at Sumo Hall in front of 2,721 fans. Now, that's 700 more than last year, but I think at this point, Paul, that's still not good number.
No, no. Like I would have liked this like to me for me to be happy with this number. I think they would have had to draw at least 300 like 3,300 people, 3,000 people. Um, so yeah, I do think at least it's a positive sign that it drew 700 people more. But I don't think you can really be happy that you basically drew half of what you did in 2019. Like I don't think that's a good sign, especially if the card kind of like looks mostly the same, except for Muta.
Yeah.
Like if Muta actually makes a difference in like half your attendance, I don't think that's a great sign.
I mean, if anything under 3,000, what's the point of running Sumo Hall?
Yeah, exactly.
Do that Oda Ward or whatever.
Yeah, that's the other point as well. And like for example, Stardom has drawn over 3,000 people there since restrictions have dropped. Like comparing them to New Japan, I think is to some degree unfair because it's just clear that they're not nearly on the same level as them. But I think
Right.
comparing them to kind of Stardom numbers is fair. But
I think
yeah.
so too, yeah.
no, I don't think this is a good number. But I don't like I said, I'm of two minds. Like I don't think it's a good number, but at the very least they drew more. So that's something, I suppose.
Yeah. And I said this on Twitter. This was the biggest match of Jake Lee's career because it's in the biggest venue that Jake Lee has main evented. And it's also against the biggest star that Jake Lee is probably facing a singles match, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I mean, they got
Right,
a
so-
pretty good match out of him, but we'll get to that.
So do you think, I don't know. I mean, I think they're just going to follow. I don't think they're going to do a sudden turn on Jake. They're going to do whatever they had planned for him.
Yeah,
though,
no, because
right?
if they would have done that, they would have done it here. Like if they actually would have
Yeah.
taken the title, if they really were super unhappy with these numbers, they would have taken the title off of. They would have panicked, taken the title off of Jake here and put it on Marufuji.
Yeah. So.
And especially because I mean, we'll get to that later. There is no obvious next challenger.
Well, no, because I think the Go thing is going to be dragged out for a little while before he
Yep.
gets back into the title picture. But we'll get to that. So we start off with Welcome to Majestic 1 in the pre-show. Muhammad Yonhei and Super Crazy defeated Akitoshi Saito and Taishi Ozawa in 10 minutes and 58 seconds with a moonsault press from Crazy on Ozawa. Look, all I'll say is I like watching Ozawa. I like watching Ozawa develop. He's going to be something.
Mhm.
But this went way too long for what this
Yeah.
was as an opening match.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, I was complaining though recently that like I would wish that these openers with Ozawa would go longer. So, and I guess this one did, but yeah, there was
That's
really,
a monkey's paw.
yeah, exactly, it really was. And also we had like fucking like Super Crazy Fujita over here holding that pin on Ozawa for like forever after the match was over. But I guess he wanted to
Yep.
make up for his nephew getting pinned in the next match.
For sure. And then, so welcome to Majestic 2. Atsushi Katoge and Seki Yoshioka defeated Extreme Tiger and Lancelot in 12 minutes and 42 seconds with a kill switch from Katoge on Lancelot. Honestly, I thought this was perfectly fine little junior tag match.
Yeah, no, definitely was just
I didn't think Lancelot botched anything too badly or anything like that.
no. But I mean, they also didn't really ask him to do much either. So
No.
yeah, I mean, it.
But as a pre-show match,
Yes,
this was
no,
a much better
obviously.
pre-show match than the opener.
Exactly, and especially because it was also mainly done to set up Kotoge and Yoshioka as the next challengers for the junior tag titles as well.
Yeah.
But do you feel like Lancelot's tour is over and he's probably going to go back to Mexico now? Because that's what this felt
Well,
like to
we
me.
mentioned it. Yeah, but we mentioned he is Super Crazy's nephew,
Yeah.
so you know. So then next up, So we get into the main show. Noah International versus Good Looking Guys. Jack Morris, Anthony Green, Johan Tadasuke defeated Sean Legacy, Stallion Rogers, Dragon Bane, and Alpha Wolf when Green used the alternate ending on Rogers. Paul, you talk about this match.
Yeah.
Because
I thought this rocked. I thought this was awesome. Like, this gave me like approximately like late 2000s TNA X Division vibes. Just 8 guys in there, just going absolutely nuts to open the show. Just dives. Everyone dives everywhere. Like I said, like kind of like similar to the junior tag title match. It was also a bit sloppy as well, but just the right kind of sloppy, where like people were just in there, just having fun, experimenting and everything. Because I think that really came across as well, as how much fun the people in the match were having. Like, the one thing I remember is like when they were doing like all of the like dive spots to the outside, and you can just see Tadasuke having like a massive smile on his face as it's happening. So yeah, and then the finish as well, when Green used the alternate ending on Rogers, like that looked super sick as well. Like, where he just catches him and just drops him on his neck basically. Like, yeah, no, I really love this match. Like, I didn't quite get to 4 stars with it, even despite as much as I love it, because I'm someone that like I need some stakes in my match for me to really like get to that like notebook level. And this obviously was just kind of like a random kind of 8-man tag, so it didn't quite get there for me, but I just really love this as an opener.
no, I agree. I thought it was great too. I wouldn't go 4 stars, but yeah, 3.5, 3 3/4 for sure. And the kind of thing you want to do to open the show. Next up,
just one
New
quick,
Freedom.
were you surprised with the outcome that Green pinned Rogers? Because when I saw that those two were kind of like in the like finishing sequence, I actually fully expected Rogers to like get the pin on Green here.
No, because I think they like Green.
Yeah.
But Rogers seems to be kind of over.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because just looking at the comments that were there on like Rogers, like coming back to Japan, that's why I kind of expected him to like get a push, but apparently not. I mean, like, I'm not against the Green push. I like Green. Like, I'm happy if he's getting a push now.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I'd like to see Green, like we said, against Marufuji, and then maybe even challenge for the national title.
Yeah.
And then next up, a New Freedom battle. Natsu Sumari and Ryo Mizunami defeated Maya Yukihi and Saki in 13 minutes and 57 seconds when Sumari used the Yoran on Yukihi. Somewhat of a surprising result, I think. Not bad, maybe a little long, although I'm somewhat puzzled that they're sort of pushing Sumari in this Noah women's division.
Yeah, that's also the one that I'm surprised about, where it's like, is that really the person you want to build your division around? I mean, she's
I
not
think you
bad,
should.
but
I mean, I don't think any of them are going to sign contracts unless you
Yeah.
throw a ton of money at them, but it should be built around Yukihi.
yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting. Like for me, it's still. I mean, I get that we're still kind of in the proof of concept phase with this Noah women's division, so I get why there is no stakes to any of these matches. But as I said, for like the previous match, like, I do need some stakes in my match for me to really get invested. And just having these kind of
Mhm.
random matches really kind of doesn't really do anything for me. So, but yeah, I mean, if this actually leads to them actually getting a proper division and then actually having some proper matches with some like actual storylines and everything, all the better. But for now, I'm just kind of on these matches.
Yeah, no, I don't mind him, and I think Mizunami is also a good person to use in this division too.
Yep, especially because she's like kind of just wrestling straight as well.
Yep.
Like, I think she's actually like
Right.
she's like, when she actually doesn't do a shtick, she's actually really good, and I think like she actually did like nicely played a power role like in this match as well. So that was actually something that I really liked about it.
Well, I mean, Mizunami uses her shtick in AEW because it's like it's American.
Yeah.
That's what you do. And then she also uses it when she's in TJPW, which is TJPW.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the whole point of this Noah women's division, and Takagi has talked about wanting to do a more like serious women's wrestling thing, is that yeah, it's going to be like hard hitting and straight lace,
Mhm.
which again is why I find the Sumeri push interesting.
Yeah, because that's not someone I think of when I think of like hard-hitting, straight-laced action.
Mm-hmm. So it is what it is, but I'm sure it's going to continue.
Yeah.
I want to see what other talent they can get in there, though. Then next up, Noah Jr. versus Kongo Jr. Shuji Kondo, Hajime Ohara, and Hiroki defeated Amaska, Junta Miyawaki, and Alejandro in 7 minutes and 29 seconds with the Stuka Splash from Hiroki on Miyawaki. And of like, Hiroki's a lowly guy now. He's all of a sudden pinned Miyawaki after losing to him.
Yeah, this was
I don't know.
baffling. I was so confused when this happened. Like, I mean, this really made me think that like they don't really believe in Junta Miyawaki at all. Because why have him get them win in a singles match if he's just then immediately got to turn around and get pinned in at the bigger show as well? Like that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like he wins at Kirken Hall, okay, that's great, but then he loses in Sumo Hall in front of like significantly more people. So yeah, I
Yep.
don't know. This doesn't feel like someone they're gonna like push to the moon immediately, or push at all, really.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he might have to like slum it up in the mid card like Master Wado did for a while.
I mean, I guess so, but I mean, I really don't get it because I thought his, I mean, yeah, I mean, because I thought his run at the beginning of the year when they brought him back from Mexico the first time was pretty good. So
Yeah, that first was it. Did he have a match against Yano that was pretty good?
yeah, like he had a title match as well that was pretty good too.
Yeah.
So I really don't like. I
So
don't like. There's something weird going on here with the like young boys in Noah, with like Kenya Okada and Yano disappearing and Miyawaki getting just sent back to Mexico and then getting no push at all when he comes back. Like I don't know. Something's up here, but like we're probably not gonna find out what it is until like I don't know, someone talks in like 10 years or so.
yeah, all sorts of truly strange things happening in Noah.
Yeah.
We have no clue what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's wrestling. These things happen, but all of this happening at the same time, sort of. And if you consider sort of the position that Noah's in, it's not good. I mean, it's just one thing on top of another.
Especially with its reputation about not pushing younger wrestlers as well. Like this kind of stuff doesn't help.
So you're de-pushing your young, possible future junior ace, and two of your other young wrestlers have disappeared off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something similar in wrestling because obviously, wrestlers have disappeared, been suspended, but like this,
With like no
all young guys
at all as well.
Yeah, it's
like one.
it's a
Like the
weird
thing
one.
is as well that it's two of them. Like if it was one of them, yeah, that has happened before. But I think it's really unusual that it's two of them at the same time.
Yeah. Well, we will continue to monitor the
Yep.
situation. If we hear anything, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, after that, we had continued to challenge. Kazuyuki Fujita and Masato Tanaka defeated Masa Kitami and Daiki Inaba in 9 minutes and 35 seconds with a sliding D from Tanaka on Inaba. Well, also first of all, Masato Tanaka is now rocking the Chrome Dome.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
Yeah, to look like his partner. I kind of like this for what it was, honestly.
Yeah. No. I
Although, but I'm not in love with just sort of like quickly cutting off Kitami and Inaba at the knees. And frankly, you could argue, what was even the point of the Sugiura and Taniguchi tag title run?
I mean, I have a weird. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but I have a weird theory about that one where I feel like New Japan recalled Kojima early to put him in the carnival, and that's why they put the title on Kitamiya and Inaba, and that's why they put the title back on Segura because they wanted to do the whole Segura gun breakup and then have the title change come out of that one.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like they
That's the most
basically
plausible thing.
went, oh shit, Kojima has to go back. Okay, I guess then we need to have Kitamiya because Inaba and Kitamiya had like no heat at all when they wanted. Like basically, like they hadn't really been built up all that much when they won the titles.
No.
Then they had a really good reign, but yeah, like they basically put it back on Segura in the first chance possible, and they also build up like Taniguchi really quickly for this title challenge as well. Yeah, like this whole thing just felt like basically they had to like do something really quick, and the place they wanted to get to at the end of that was having this Segura Gun breakup and then Segura losing the tag titles coming out of that. And the whole story also would have made more sense if basically if Suzuki and Thatcher complain that Segura is only teaming with Kojima and everything, and he has been doing that for like so long now that they don't see a point in like continuing Segura Gun. You know, like that the story makes more sense that way.
Yep.
Because yeah, I don't know, maybe
Um,
they only decided relatively late that Kojima was going to be in the Champion Carnival.
mhm. And then next up, under GHC martial arts rules, Masakatsu Funaki defeated Shinya Aoki in 6 minutes and 10 seconds with the ankle hold. Well, Josh Barnett was on commentary for this. And I thought this was definitely one of the better GHC martial arts matches that they had with Funaki.
Yes, no, I agree on that one. I think they actually had some fun kind of exchanges on the ground here. Like it wasn't just like two people lying on the floor pretending to exchange holds. Like I feel like they actually had some struggle for the holds here. So, and they also kept it pretty short as well, which I think helped the match too.
Yeah. And then after the match, like they teased Funaki versus Barnett.
Yeah, match. I don't know. I mean, okay. Look, I mean, if this is all just to kind of like add some like spice to like middle of the card matches on like big shows to maybe draw some like additional fans that are interested in this kind of stuff, I don't actually mind it. Like I think it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, but it's just like they still sort of are relying on the old shooters still a bit.
Yeah. No, definitely. Just I mean, but look, if this is what they're doing, if they're like on the fifth match out of 12 and like that's where they're positioned and like I said, it's just to like draw some additional like nostalgia fans who like remember Inokiism, then it's fine. Like I definitely like it more than Funaki getting a year-long national title reign.
Yes, definitely. So after that, we go to interestingly named Deus Ex Machina. Yoshinari Ogawa and Chris Ridgway defeated Ada and Daga in 12 minutes and 34 seconds when Ada pinned Ogawa after Daga hit Ada with the Diablo wings. And honestly, I thought the match wasn't bad up to that, but then it just, yeah,
Yeah, no, of course.
you know.
Said just like the cleaning of a house, it never ends. Just it never ends. Like I know it's I don't know if you've listened to the Open the Voice Gate episode with Jay recently.
I haven't gotten a chance to yet. I've been busy.
Yeah, so basically Jay said on that one that he thought that this was going to be the blow off, but this didn't feel like a blow off at all.
No.
This is just going to keep going. Just yeah, and I guess Daga is a member of Stinger now, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, he'll be around.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I said, like I guess the match wasn't bad, but it's like I think it's also impressive that like this is a match where like I really love three of the people. Like in theory, I really love three of the people in this match. I'm probably wavering a bit on Aita because of well, just towards everything. But yeah, I just didn't care at all.
No, and it's funny because they actually had like a decent little match, but then they decided to ruin it.
Yeah, and I kind of expected it. Like I think that really didn't help me. Where it was just okay. When does the bullshit start? Like that's literally everything I thought while I was watching this match. Where I was just like, okay, when do we start the nonsense?
Yep.
And also, I think this was actually about the time when the All Japan show started because I actually watched both shows at the same time.
It was, yes.
So that also didn't help either.
I tried to watch this live, but I fell asleep as the next match was starting.
It wasn't even that bad. Come on.
No, I was just exhausted.
Fair
I
enough.
had tried to nap, but was unable to earlier, so I just passed out. And the next up, we had Dralistico defeated Rey Escorpion in 15 minutes and 58 seconds with La Mystica. I mean, this was a spot fest.
Yeah, and I thought
And,
Dralistico
like-
was pretty sloppy, but I thought Rey Scorpion was
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, like you sort of called this one on the last episode.
Yeah.
and Scorpion is a great base.
Yeah.
He's actually smaller than you think if you look at his stats, but he's big enough to be a Noah heavyweight.
Yeah.
Because his stats are like the same as like Keno, are almost the same as Keno's and Nakajima's.
No, I mean for Escorpion, like I get why everyone wants to book all of the flashy like high flyers that do crazy stuff like Commander, but I think people also forget why they look so great in Mexico because they can base off of people like Ray. Like Ray is just such a great base where like for example like in like very often in like Japan, like people do like crazy dives into like loads of people or whatever to like cushion the fall and that's great. But like in Mexico, it's just you just need like one white boy, like Rey Escorpion, to just do all of that basically by himself, and that's what he did in this match. Where like whenever like Dralistico's stuff was always like his sloppy stuff was always in the setup, but once he actually like made contact with Ray, it
Yeah.
always looked awesome because Ray was just like, no, I'm gonna catch you. Like I don't care how kind of off the mark your like dive actually is. I'm gonna catch you anyway, and I'm gonna make it look awesome. And his chops, like his
Yeah,
chops was so good.
I remember when Drilisko like jumped to the top rope because he was gonna like dive off into the outside to do that Hurricane Rana, and he like had to step off the top for a second
Yeah.
and everything like that.
Yeah, no. But,
But,
then
like,
when
the
he
Hurricane
actually
Rana
hit the
itself
dive,
looked
it
great.
looked great. Yeah.
Yeah. You know who would be great in Noah, but he's got a contract in the States?
In the States?
Yeah.
Who has a contract in the States that is really good?
Black Taurus.
Oh, Taurus has a contract in this. Is he with MLW?
No, he signed with Impact.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. But I mean, hey, look, Noah and Impact have worked together in the past, so
Yeah.
that
And
doesn't.
Impact doesn't really use Black Taurus to his full potential either.
Well, no one is. That's the problem with Taurus.
Yeah.
No one ever really is. But yeah, no, I thought he would be a really good addition as well. Actually, another one that is a really good base, and I don't think he is actually signed anywhere, would be Gringo Loco.
He's appeared in Great.
Ah, okay. Damn it. Yeah. No, but he would be like another guy if you want to bring like because
Yeah.
to me like yeah, okay, you bring in all of these like high flyers from Mexico, but I think you need to bring in some bases as well. Like it's but Rey Scorpion is like a first grade like guy for that, and then like because I think he can really help making like your own like local like Japanese high flyers look great. Like just think about like how good like a Maxa versus like Rey Scorpion would be.
Yeah, for sure. He's not announced for anything moving forward, but I hope they keep him around.
Ninja Mac versus Rey Scorpion. That would be really good.
Oh, that'd be yeah. So next up, GHC Tag Team Title. Keep exploding. Saxon Huxley and Timothy Thatcher defeated Takashi Sugera and Shuhei Taniguchi in 15 minutes and 24 seconds when Huxley used the neck hanging bomb on Taniguchi. The champions fail on their first defense. You know what, Paul? This wasn't bad, honestly, because Huxley came in and did power spots early on, and then they got him out of the way for a lot of the match until the finish.
Yeah, no, I mean it wasn't bad. It definitely, to me, it wasn't as good as like previous GHC tag title matches.
No.
Because like that's one of our talking points where it's just like these have just been bangers after bangers, and I don't think this was like anywhere close to like a notebook match or anything like that. But it was still pretty solid. Like it could have been worse, but as you said, it really benefited from them just getting Huxley out of the way for most of it. But that's also not a great sign if like one half of your new tag team champions has basically has to be hidden for the majority of the match for the match to be good.
Paul, are you looking forward to those Huxley versus Fujita exchanges?
Oh, God. You think Fujita might actually just knock him out.
Yeah.
Because I do think Fujita actually respects someone like Thatcher, but I don't think he has even an ounce of respect for the likes of Saxon Huxley.
No. Not at all. So, yeah.
But I do actually think think that they might actually defend the titles, at least for that match. Because I have a feeling that I know who the next team is that is going to hold the titles, and hopefully that team will hold the titles for a lot longer.
I think so too. Although if you actually go back and look at their title history, their title reigns were not that long.
Well, then it's about time for them to get one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Next up, GHC Junior Heavyweight title, the highest peak. Hayata defeated Ninja Mac in 12:24 with a modified arm lock. Okay, this was perfectly fine because they kept it like 12 and a half minutes. I don't need 20, 22 minutes, 25 minutes of Hayata. I thought this was perfectly fine.
Yeah, no, I actually have to say, as far as like Hayata matches go, I thought this was good.
Yep.
I think it helped that there was like a story here with Ninja Mac attacking Hayata's arm and them teasing the flippy do to the outside with the sunset powerbomb, where
Sunset flip, yeah.
where Hayata like separated his shoulder. I think like there was an actual story here, not just kind of like aimless work for like 25 minutes until Hayata hits the headache. So yeah, no, I thought this was fine. Like there was a clear story here. They kept it short and it had a logical finish. No, like as far as Hayata matches go, I thought this was good.
Yeah, for sure. And then Hayata called out Dante Leon.
Yeah, that's the downside of it though. Like it's yeah, yeah. I don't think that match will be as good.
Yeah. Next up, GHC National Title Global Standard. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. defeated Hideki Suzuki in 12 minutes and 17 seconds with a Japanese leg roll clutch hold to make his fourth defense of the title. This was not what I expected stylistically from these two, but I still thought it was great, and I think actually this was my favorite match of the show.
Yeah, I would say so as well. It's definitely close. But no, I like this one as well. I thought the finish was a bit sloppy, but I think otherwise it was another great defense for Wagner. Like I think
so. I expected a lot more mat work, but they just sort of started throwing bombs at each other.
Yeah.
Early on, right? Because like Suzuki knocks him out with a close fist punch right at the beginning of the match, and everything like that. So it was like really good, and Suzuki actually can really work that style too, and it just came together really well.
It was also shorter than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Like because we really only got like 12 minutes, so I think they.
Yeah, they could have. They could have gone longer, I think, and it still would have been very good.
No, definitely. But I also feel like that's probably the reason why they didn't really go for like a lot of mat work, because it just didn't have time. So that's probably why they went straight to just like throwing bombs at each other.
Yeah, well, they could have had more time. There's no reason to have had like 12 matches on this show, but anyway.
No, that's the other reason. Yeah, no. This show was very like this show started like what, an hour and a half before the All Japan show started, and it finished like 30 minutes after the All Japan show went off the air.
Now the file on Wrestle Universe. Now, mind you, that has like the like announcers talking before the show and then like a Jake Lee interview in the back after. It's still 5.5 hours.
Yeah, it was definitely a long show.
Yeah. And then Go Shiozaki return match back to ring. Keno, Katsuhiko Nakajima, and Manabu Soya defeated Go Shiozaki, Kaito Kiyomiya, and Yoshiki Inamura in 16 minutes and 47 seconds with the vertical spike brainbuster on Shiozaki. So this was like the Noah six-man that we always talk about being great. But also Go was incredibly over.
Yeah.
Like he felt like the biggest star in the company.
Yes, no, I think the crowd was really missing Go as well. Like I feel like one thing, like I wasn't really happy with the size of the crowd, but at least the crowd that we got here was good. And I think that really became obvious in this match as well, where like they were just like going absolutely nuts for like everything that Go was doing. Like they were so loud for that.
Yeah. So, you know, your classic Japanese booking where the guy who's been out for like 8-9 months loses in his return. But after the match, Nakajima extends his hands to Go and they shake hands and embrace, and Axis is back. Yeah. And Nakajima has left Congo.
Yeah. What a weird run with Congo that has been for him, because I don't know, like I think when he joined Congo, we all had the feeling that this was going to end with him taking over the faction, because they teased that like really heavily, and then they stopped doing it, and then he just like leaves the faction by rejoining with the guy that he turned on to join Congo originally.
Yeah, see, I expected a more explosive end, even if Nakajima wasn't going to take it over. Like they were going to lose a match and they were going to like brawl after the match or something. instead of like that. I mean,
Now, with that said, I
how?
would have liked it more, but with that said, this was so over this angle.
Yes, it was. Which also brings me to the Axis was very popular at a time when Noah was not doing so well. Like they sold photo books and everything of
Yeah.
them. So do you think that this is them trying to like pivot to like do something that has like appeal?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be shocked if that's like the exact reason why they're doing this. Because yeah, no, Access was like just crazy over, and I think it is still crazy over. Just like I think this is something that
Yeah.
fans have been really clamoring for. Because this definitely like this got the loudest pop of the entire show was when
Yeah.
Shiozaki and Nakajima were shaking hands. Like this was yeah. So I really hope that this is something that can like revitalize the promotion now.
Yeah. And so yeah, Huxley and Thatcher make their defense against Fujita and Tanaka and then lose to Axis is what you were getting
Yes,
at?
I think that's exactly what they're doing here. I think
Yeah.
Tanaka's gonna like tap her to a Fujiwara armbar and then Go and Nakajima come out and they make short work of them at like whatever show they're gonna win the titles at.
And do you think then Go doesn't touch the GHC title again until early 2024?
I think that's a likelihood. It's actually okay. So something I wrote in the Discord after Go lost this match, but before Axis reformed, is I put Go down as like a favorite to win the N1. Now that Axis has reformed, I'm less certain of that, but I think that's still something that I could easily see happening as well.
Absolutely.
Because my feeling
Yeah,
was like,
for sure.
okay, if he loses to Nakajima here, then the N1 final is going to be Nakajima versus Go. I don't think that's happening anymore now, so who knows? But I feel like if they're gonna push Go, it's at least not gonna happen. Like if they're gonna push him in a singles capacity, it's not gonna happen until the N1 at the earliest.
But Go also feels like the right guy to dethrone Jake.
He does, and yeah, that's the other thing. Like like who else could dethrone Jake unless I don't know. Let's talk about
I
that
mean, if
after
it's
the main event.
okay, so we'll go to the main
Yeah.
event. GHC Heavyweight Championship, Historical Crossroads. Jake Lee defeats Naomichi Marufuji in 25 minutes and 28 seconds with the skewered front high kick to make a second successful defense. Okay, this match was good.
Mhm.
I'd go like 3 3/4 stars, but there was a certain element of here, and I've been on record saying I like a lot of old man Marufuji's big singles matches when he still occasionally has them. This like had moments that were pretty great, but I just feel like we ran into the old Jake problem of him not being able to turn the intensity up high enough until like literally like the last 30 seconds of the match.
Really? Because okay, I feel like we actually probably have like reversed our positions here because I actually like this match. I actually
I mean,
thought
I
this was
liked it.
pretty good.
I just don't think it was like I went 3 3/4.
Mhm.
So maybe I'm sounding a little too negative, but that was my reason why not going to 4.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because yeah, my expectations were pretty low coming into this match, so like mine were definitely. So I feel like we probably have like the exact same opinion of the match. It's
So
just
I think I had higher
yeah,
expectations than
exactly.
you
I
going
feel like
into this.
that's the problem here. Where like you went in with high expectations, I went in with low expectations, and then we just end up in the exact same place.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Well,
no,
what
I
were your
agree
thoughts?
that like Jake was missing some fire here as well, but I feel like now like Marufuji more than made up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought Marufuji
Yeah,
just
Marufuji
really
was
went,
great here.
yeah, like I think he really went all in. Like that Shiranui off the top was like that was awesome, and he pulled that
Yeah.
out for this. I think that was also like because that's not a move that like old man Marufuji wants to do very often. So the fact that he did
No.
that here, like I think to me that was like symbolic. And yeah, no, I think it also helped that, like I said, my problem, like this was actually probably my out of like the three. This is probably yeah, out of like this is probably my favorite Jake match so far in Noah. Uh, because as I said, my problem with Jake versus Nakajima was that I never felt Nakajima had a chance of winning, whereas I felt like Marufuji actually had a chance of winning this match. Like there were multiple
Mm-hmm.
times where it's like, okay, is Marufuji gonna do it here? So that helped this match for me. And yeah, like I don't think I'm gonna go 4 stars. Like I'm not gonna go 4 stars on this, but it at the very least like sniffed Notebook at like a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. And so no one came out to challenge
Nope.
Jake, and Jake even mentioned that in his promo after the match. So I don't know where we're going.
So, I mean, there were some tweets by Kota Ibushi, right, happening during the show.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
is this just him shooting his own angles, or is he actually teasing something here? Because to me, like, it's not just that no one came out. There was also no one that was really like set up on the show as the logical next
No.
challenger.
Nope, no one.
So, like, I don't know, like, will we like because at that point it makes sense if you bring in someone new to the promotion to challenge, but it needs to be someone that is
An
like a
outsider
credible
versus an
challenger
outsider?
right away.
Yeah, but you're running into outsiders versus outsiders.
I mean, I guess so. But I like, for example, okay, let's say it is Ibushi, right? I don't think that matters.
I suppose not when you're Kota Ibushi.
Yeah. So, because otherwise, I just don't know, like, who is going to challenge, like, Jake next.
Mm-hmm.
Because there isn't anyone,
Yeah.
right? Because it's
Nope.
obviously not going to be Go. Nakajima just challenged. Keno's busy doing stuff with the like all of the tag titles that he holds now. Like, Kaito obviously isn't in any way, shape, or form hot enough to challenge for the title, and I feel like that's also
No.
too soon to go back to that match. So like, who really is there? Oh, that he's beaten Marufuji.
I don't know.
Fujita? That's not
Well, now he's in the tag title.
exactly, yeah. So Fujita's in the tag title, so like that, it's not him. And Suzuki just lost a national title match, so it's not going to be him either.
Mm-mm.
Like, and the only one that won like a non-title singles match is Dralistico, but Dralistico is a junior, and they're definitely not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So there isn't anyone. Like,
Funaki?
but Funaki is going to wrestle. Like, Funaki is busy with Barnett, so it's not going to be him either.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But Yone didn't win. Like, Yone was on the winning side of his match, and also that's not a credible title challenger. Like, there just isn't anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna be Jack Morris. Like, it's not gonna be Anthony Green either. Like, that doesn't make any
Mhm.
sense for him to like have a title challenge against like a stablemate. Like, there just isn't
No.
anyone at all that is like positioned to be the next title challenger right now. So to me, it almost has to be someone coming in from the outside. And like I said, Ibushi is really the only one that makes sense if he is actually coming in and not shooting his own angles.
Right. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm just skeptical that he's coming to Noah, I guess.
Yeah. I am as well, but like I said, I just don't see anyone else.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll take a quick look at some of the upcoming cards. So May 14th, Cork and Hall. Axis versus Keno and Soya. And Ogawa versus Ada. Paul, what are the chances that Axis are going to win the All Japan World Tag titles at some point?
I mean, is this announced to be a title match? No, it can't be a title match.
No, it's
because,
a non-title.
Yeah, it's non-title. I don't think so. I mean, it would be
Okay.
weird. Like, I mean, I would assume Axis is gonna win this, but it is also weird if I don't know if like All Japan and Dragon Gate are gonna be happy with like the tag champion losing here.
Yeah. No.
I mean, could also
It is what it is.
be like some sort of DQ or something.
Yep. Or draw.
Yeah.
30-minute draw. Then May 21st in Kobe Sambo Hall, World Tag Team titles. Keno and Soya versus Suwama and Kono. Axis versus Funaki and Kondo. And the hot feud, Ada versus Daga.
Yay.
In May 28th in Niigata at the Bandejima
Just real quick
Multipurpose Plaza.
on the All Japan World Title match here. So we're gonna get to this a bit later. Do you feel All Japan has kind of spoiled the outcome of this match?
I think I know what you're getting at, and no, I don't think so.
No, because I feel they've very strongly spoiled the outcome of this match.
Well, that might be also because I've given up all hope that Voodoo Murders is ending. It's gonna be forever.
No, I think it's very obvious that Suwama is gonna be a face by June 3rd at the very latest.
Well, we'll see. There's been other off ramps that would have made sense too, and they never went with them. So who knows? Okay, so Niigata at Bandejima Multipurpose Plaza on May 28th. Axis versus Kaito Kiyomiya and Daiki Inaba.
Yeah.
That could actually be really
Yeah.
good.
But I wonder who's getting pinned in that match.
And then May 31st in Shinjuku Face, Keno versus Nakajima. That's weird.
That is a massive match for a building that small.
At least Korakuen Hall.
Yeah,
It should be at least Korakuen.
yeah. I mean, if you don't sell out Shinjuku face with that match, then I think Noah is in really big trouble.
Yeah. So that is Pro Wrestling Noah. Any final thoughts, Paul?
I actually like this show. Like out of like the post Muto
Yep,
era big
it was
shows,
a good
I
show.
thought this was by far the best one. Like I don't think out of like
Yeah?
the Eta weirdness, I don't think anything on the show was bad. And like as I talked about, I really liked that like opener of the main card, the 8-man tag. And I felt like the last 3 matches were all really good and like nothing really like I thought it helped that while there were like an absolute shit ton of matches on the show, it helped that none of them went really all that long outside of the main event. Like I feel like that kind of like helped the show as well. Just like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, that's a better idea for some of these big Noah shows because they would get hard to watch
Yeah.
sometimes.
Like just imagine if they had done the whole thing with Ogawa and Ridgeway and Eita and Daga, if that match had been 22
Mhm.
minutes, because that's what they would have done like
Yeah, exactly.
like 4 months ago. Hey, I feel
Yeah.
like they did exactly that 4 months ago. No, wait, they didn't even do that 4 months ago. They did that just with the junior tag title match not that long ago, where it went 25 minutes and then they turned on each other.
Yeah, they
after they
gotta.
won.
Hopefully, that's over.
Well, we'll
But-
see.
We'll see. So we move on to All Japan Pro Wrestling. In some bad news, the All Asia Tag Team titles have been vacated because Atsushi Onita has like rupture in his like, or not rupture, but like swelling in his like in the aorta, part of the aorta in the stomach, which can be very dangerous if it bursts.
Yeah.
You can like bleed out basically of internal bleeding. But he's also still announced on the June 11th show. So I don't know what's going on here and why they had to vacate the titles if he makes that show.
Yeah, I feel like they just haven't pulled him from that show yet, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but I don't know what the recovery time from something like this is, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
But I mean, I hope he gets
yeah,
better.
like I said, like that is actually something that could be very serious, especially if you're taking bumps. So I'm happy that it got fixed, and he should hopefully be making like a full recovery. So we'll see.
And so we move on to recap all the Champion Carnival shows that have happened since we last recorded. We're going to try to blow through these as fast as possible because we could be here for hours. But so on April 22nd in Niigata City, Nishikawa Multipurpose Hall in front of 496 fans. Block B, Shuji Ishikawa defeated Yuma Anzai in 7 minutes and 24 seconds with the running knee lift. This was good, but this wasn't as good as the match that they had last December.
No.
Block B, Suwama defeated Takao Omori in 3 minutes and 1 seconds with the vice hold. Oh, what do you think this was?
Yeah, it was so not over. Like this was again one of those where like Suwama just does his heel stick to just no heat at all.
Yeah. And then Block B, Shotaro Ashino defeated Rei Saito in 5 minutes and 59 seconds with the ankle lock. This is sort of when Ashino begins his ascent.
Yep, this was also
And,
when I
you know.
got the feeling that like, well, this one I was more like, okay, at least they're giving Ashino some points, but whatever. But yeah, we'll get more on that later.
And it was fine. I wouldn't even say this was definitely even Rei Saito's best match. Champion Carnival Block A, T-Hawk defeated Cyrus in 3 minutes and 23 seconds with the Cerberus. I saw some people say this match wasn't very good. I thought it was perfectly fine until the finish, which was slightly awkward looking. But, you know.
Yeah, that was fine.
I mean, what can like the thing is T-Hawk is way too small to like do much in a match against Cyrus, so you might as well keep it quick.
Yeah, I mean he's strong for his size, but he's not that strong.
No. Then it was Hikaru Saito, Dan Tamura, and Black Manta Ray defeated Atsuki Aoyagi, Rising Hayato, and Ryo Inoue in 8 minutes and 38 seconds with a powerbomb from Tamura on Inoue. Again, all of these junior tags have been good, even if that wasn't part of the tournament.
I have no memory of this match.
I barely do either. Block B, Manabu Soya defeated Hokuto Omori in 9 minutes and 18 seconds with a Death Valley bomb. This was actually kind of good, but I thought that they probably could have used a couple of more minutes.
But I feel like this was actually one of Omori's best, Hokuto Omori's best matches of the entire tournament.
Yeah, and we'll get to another one later against a surprising opponent. And then Satoshi Kojima defeated Jun Saito in 8 minutes and 19 seconds with a lariat. Again, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, no, I thought this was I feel like a lot of people have actually been dogging Kojima for all this tournament, but I don't really get that same feeling.
Well, I think it's more or less the booking that Kojima's been given.
Yeah.
As opposed to any effort on his part. 8-minute match, stuff like that, right? Ryuki Honda defeated Yuma Aoyagi in 10 minutes and 21 seconds for the final event. This is the best match of the show, in my opinion. It was a lot of fun. Again, too short from what these guys are capable of, but I mean, these guys could probably put on an incredible match if they got 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Honda push continues by pinning someone.
The Honda push continues
by someone of Aoyagi status. The Honda push was continuing so much that I actually briefly convinced myself he was gonna be in the final. But in my defense, I had not really slept that day, so I was slightly delusional.
Well, I mean, Ashino said that he would like to face Honda in the final, so there were sort of hints even dropped.
Yeah, because that's where I got it from, and it was clear that Ashino is going to be in the final. Spoiler, that him versus Honda would actually make a ton of sense as a final.
Yeah. And then in the main event, Kento Miyahara defeated Yoshitatsu in 18 minutes and 17 seconds with the shutdown German suplex hold. I mean, it was fine. In fact, it was good, but I mean, it's Yoshitatsu versus Kento Miyahara in 2023.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 stars.
Yeah. I feel like these two have also had better matches in the past too.
Well, they have, yeah. But I mean, I don't want to get the opinion that it was horrible match or anything like that. It wasn't. Not. Then we go to April 23rd at Dream Messe Miyagi West Building Hall, Block B. Rei Saito defeated Hokuto Omori in 6 minutes and 51 seconds with the drill hole pile driver. I thought this was actually kind of good.
Mm-hmm. No, I think Rei really has kind of stepped up his game throughout this entire tournament.
Absolutely. I think Jun had in the last couple shows too. And then Block A, Jun Saito defeated Yoshitatsu in 6 minutes and 25 seconds with the Cobra Clutch Slam. I mean, it wasn't offensive.
It was a match that happened.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Block B, Shuji Ishikawa defeated Takao Omori in 5 minutes and 35 seconds with the air scissors drop. When Ishikawa wins with the air scissors drop, aka the Luthez press, it's a nothing match.
Yeah. But I also like that he does it every once in a while. I feel like it's a nice mix up.
Yeah, but perfectly inoffensive wrestling.
Yeah.
Then Yuma Anzai, Ryo Inoue, and Musashi defeated Ryuki Honda, Black Mensure, and Aizawa #1 in 9 minutes and 20 seconds when Musashi pinned Mensure with the Nitin Ichiru. This was good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always nice to see Musashi in All Japan as he pops up when they are in sort of the Michinoku territory.
Yeah. No. I think he can still go, so I'm happy when they bring him in as a local. But also seems pretty clear that he has kind of I think he's perfectly happy being this kind of part-timer that pops up whenever they're close to where he is.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's going to leave Michinoku.
That too.
Yeah. Junior Tag Battle of Glory, Hikaru Sato and Dan Tamura defeated Atsuki Aoyagi and Rising Hato in 11 minutes and 19 seconds with a powerbomb from Tamura on Aoyagi. I thought this was the best Junior Tag Battle of Glory match up to the point.
Yeah, no, definitely. And again, the Dan push is real. Him penning Aoyagi especially, I think is a big statement too.
Twice.
Yeah.
Pinned him in the singles and then pinned him here in the tournament. And then Champion Carnival Block A, Kento Miyahara defeated Cyrus in 6 minutes and 23 seconds with a horizontal cradle. I mean, it's a fun 6-minute match because obviously Miyahara is so expressive and he can sell for Cyrus and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Cyrus also sold it well when he basically got rolled up.
Yep. Okay. So Block B, Shotaro Ashino defeats Suwama in 13 minutes and 29 seconds with the ankle lock. Ashino finally gets a singles victory over Suwama in All Japan.
So
this wasn't very good though.
No. So I'm not saying that because Ashino's in the final now. But basically when this match started and I kind of forgot what the match was actually going to be. Ashino came out and I was like, okay, he's at 4 points. If they actually want to do something with him, they actually do want to push him, I feel like this is the very last chance ever. Like if he wins this match, maybe they will actually do something. Who's actually his opponent? And then Suwama comes out, and I'm like, all right, nevertheless. And then he beats Suwama, and I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Okay, maybe there is something here. And yeah, lo and behold, this is, to me, this is really the start of like the comeback. Like him actually finally overcoming Suwama and beating him, like that is an actual like statement win.
I didn't like the match.
No, the match was bad, but to me, the outcome was more important than the match itself.
Yes, I agree. But you like to see, but no one will remember this as Ashino's big win over Suwama, though.
No,
That's
but
the
they will
thing.
remember the final when he wins they will remember when he wins the Champion Carnival.
Yeah, that's true.
And they will
And in
basically
the main
what
event,
this will be when people like look back at it years later will be like, oh yeah, man, look at all of the scalps that he actually got during the like 2023 Champion Carnival.
yeah. And in the main event, Block A, Yuma Aoyagi defeated Satoshi Kojima in 13 minutes and 59 seconds with The Fool. This was one of the best matches of the tournament up to this point.
Yeah, I agree. And also again, talking about big statement wins, this is another big statement win for like you.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you obviously like Yuma like didn't win, and he wasn't even really in the mix by the final night. But I feel like he still like they still kept him strong by giving him like big, like they gave him two massive wins in this tournament.
Absolutely. And that's sort of like what you have to do.
Yeah.
So they protected him.
Yeah, no, I think they did a really good job where like he's like in this really precarious position where like you do want him to keep him like at that level where he's still like a believable guy, because I still feel he's gonna win the Triple Crown this year at some point. But if you're not gonna have him in the Champion Carnival and beat Nagata, you need to do something to keep him strong, and him beating Miyahara and him beating Kojima is achieving exactly that.
Yes, for sure. And so this is definitely worth watching. I think, I mean, like Yuma being like the young prick and everything works well against Kojima too.
No, I feel like Kojima also like did really well here, just being like, well, who the fuck are you? And then just being like, actually kind of like underestimating Yuma at times, and then that like results in him losing the match. I think they played that really well.
Yeah. We go to April 25th at Corkin Hall in front of only 753 fans.
Yeah, they have been drawing
with that main
terribly.
event, not a good number.
I mean, they have been drawing terribly in Corkin Hall throughout this entire tour.
Yep. And they started Corkin this year in Corkin strong, but yeah, not so good. Yep. So Dan Tammer defeated Black Mesa Rain 2 minutes and 29 seconds with a power bomb. The push continues. Block B, Shotaro Ashino defeated Takawa Mori in 4 minutes and 42 seconds with the ankle lock. Again, perfectly fine.
Yeah, this was to be expected.
Cyrus defeated Yoshitatsu in 4 minutes and 5 seconds with a reverse splash. Exactly what it needed to be. Suwama in Block B, Suwama defeated Hokuto Omori in 6 minutes and 12 seconds with a backdrop suplex. And Paul, this might have been the best Suwama match of this tournament.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because he just went in there and wrestled Hokuto, and he gave Hokuto a bit.
Yeah. No, like this was just like, I mean, it was just 6 minutes, but yeah, as I said, it wasn't Suwama doing his heel stick to no heat. Like it was just Suwama being a wrestler, like which he's still something that he's actually still pretty good at.
I think he's still pretty good if he doesn't do all the bullshit.
Well, good thing he's turning face then.
Hopefully. And then in the Junior Tag Battle of Glory, Atsuki Aoyagi and Rising Hayato defeated Ryo Inoue and Ojishiba in 7 minutes and 36 seconds when Hayato pinned Inoue with the Sid Vicious. Again, a great 7.5 minute match. But the way that these shows are structured, they sort of take away what, like the Junior Tag Battle of Glory on it, like taking place during a normal tour could have been so much more, and it was still pretty good.
Yep. But I feel like after the finals have now happened, I get the feeling that I know what the reason for this entire tournament happening was.
I think so too, yeah. And then in the Junior Tag Battle of Glory, Kaito Ishida and Kotaro Suzuki defeated Naruki Doi and Naoki Tanizaki in 8 minutes and 56 seconds with the half Tiger suplex hold from Ishida on Tanizaki. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good too. I mean, all of these matches are good, like 3.5, maybe even 3 3/4 sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, for this one, I was a little bit disappointed because I had pretty high expectations for it, and it was just kind of there for me.
And then in Block A, Jun Saito defeated Yuma Aoyagi in 9 minutes and 37 seconds with the Psycho Break. Paul, I thought this was pretty good.
Yeah.
And this is when I was like, Jun Saito is actually stepping up now too.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, this was a great like Yuma Aoyagi carry drop as well. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, like Jun wasn't like a complete stiff, but I feel like Yuma just
No.
absolutely sold his ass off. I almost like this was also like close to like a notebook match. Like it wasn't one, but I was definitely like, oh, this is getting really really good now.
Okay, tell me if this is a ridiculous comparison, but this is like Ric Flair carrying Lex Luger in 1988. There's something there with Luger,
I
but
think
he's also
Luger
uncoordinated
is a
at
better
this
worker
point.
than Jun Saito. I really like Luger.
Well,
I really
Luger
like
became a better worker than Jun Saito.
Okay, 88 Luger. Yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
88 Luger, I agree, yeah. If this was like 92 Luger, like I don't think
Yeah,
Jun's
yeah,
at that
yeah.
level.
Yeah.
But 88 Luger, yeah, no, okay, yeah, there I can see the comparison board. No, yeah.
And then in Block A, T-Hawk defeated Ryuki Honda in 7 minutes and 6 seconds with Cerberus.
You're
This was
missing
pretty good while it
you're
lasted.
missing the Yuma Anzai and Rei Saito match.
Oh, guess I am. Oops. So they had a match.
No, it was just
and I
before that.
remember
It's
it.
on the run sheet.
Oh,
I'm looking
yeah,
right
it is
at
on the
it.
run sheet. I don't know how I missed that. Okay, Yuma Anzai defeated Rei Saito in 7 minutes and 35 seconds with a German suplex hold. This, again, I mean, given their experience levels, I thought this was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. Like this were probably like in terms of like both sides giving good performances, this was like the best night of the tournament for them because I think both of them were like in really good matches. Like, yeah.
I think Ray is more capable than June, though,
Yes.
on his
No,
own.
absolutely. But again, Yuma is also a rookie. Well, not that Ray is a rookie anymore technically, but like Yuma is a rookie, so
No.
like June having a great match with Yuma Aoyagi is less surprising than Yuma Anzai and Rai Saito having a match as good as this was.
Yes, definitely. Right? And also, Anzai gets to 6 points with this victory.
No, I
which I think was which was on the high end of my estimation.
Yes, definitely. So no, they definitely like kept them strong throughout this tournament, and I thought they did some like really fun stuff in here as well. Like I specifically remember like Anzai just dodging under a Rei Saito crossbody, which was really cool. I think that was like the coolest part of like the entire show to me.
Yeah, for sure. And just I mean, I just saying, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to overhype them, but I think that some of the observations of the Saitos just isn't holding up. They are improving.
Yes.
Because some people thought, okay, well, they're too old to improve when you start wrestling at 35. But I don't think that's the case. Now, I don't know what their upper ceiling is, but I don't think they've reached that either yet.
And I also don't think that observation is really true if you look at like comparable people that started at a similar age. Because that's like saying Batista couldn't improve. Because Batista also started at like, do I think that the Saitos are going to be as good as Batista was when he was like at his peak?
DDP?
Yeah. Like again, yeah, like I said, like there is like the history just doesn't back up people starting late and not improving. Like Segura started relatively late.
Segura was almost 30.
Yeah.
He started at 29. Suwama debuted at 28.
Yeah.
And Shuji Shikawa we're celebrating his 20th anniversary, so he would have been 28 as well.
Yeah.
Now, that's a little younger than 35, but it doesn't always hold.
No, like I think it highly depends on like how, like you can't obviously do the same development steps you would do with someone that starts at 21 or like 18 or whatever. But like I feel like if you develop them well, like even someone that starts at 35, you can actually like do something with them. Like because like again, like they're wrestlers. Like you can't compare that with like professional sports where like like at that age you're like severely slowing down. Whereas I feel like the Saitos probably still have like 10 years in front of them before they like really slow down as wrestlers. So there's something you can develop here.
Yeah, for sure. And now finally we get to T-Hawk defeating Ryuki Honda in 7 minutes and 6 seconds with the Cerberus. This was pretty good. And I like the ending too of this one.
Yeah, no.
T-Hawk just makes him eat shit.
Yes. He basically just yeah, like Honda really like basically all of the dastardly things Honda did throughout this entire tournament kind of like came back to like haunt him here. So yeah,
Hmm. And then he just eats the knee to the face.
yes, like this really was like because if Honda had won here, then he basically would have just won the block. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
and
Um.
he sold that knee well.
Hmm. And then Block B, Shuji Ishikawa defeated Manabu Soya in 11 minutes and 2 seconds with a giant slam. I think this was Ishikawa's best match of the tournament,
Hmm.
actually. And it was just the two big guys, big brutes hitting each other.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just two slabs of meat just crashing into each other.
Yeah. And, 11 minutes, perfectly good length for these guys,
No,
especially
definitely.
Ishikawa, to
Yeah,
do this sort of
exactly.
thing.
Like I don't think with Ishikawa you can really go longer than 10 minutes because that's really getting to
Well,
like
you saw what happened.
yeah.
Everyone loved that Nagata match, and I was surprised at how many people did, right?
Hmm?
But that was also like Ishikawa like panting for like 2 minutes between spots.
Yes, exactly. That if you actually cut out like the spots of both of them just kind of like
Yeah.
lying there, like that match is like half as long.
Yeah. And then in the main event, Satoshi Kojima defeated Kento Miyahara in 19 minutes and 42 seconds with a lariat. Paul, what did you think? Because I thought this was good, but I don't know if this quite lived up to what the potential it could have been.
I mean, I saw a lot of
Almost like they were
people.
saving something
Yeah.
for the later.
I saw a lot of people being really negative on this match, and I don't know, I really liked it. Like I actually went notebook on this. I think this was actually my favorite tournament of the like favorite match of the entire tournament. So
Mm.
to be quite honest, like I thought this was really well. I think it was really like the most star powered match as well. I think that helped. I thought
Oh, for sure.
like it wasn't a big crowd on Korakuen, but this crowd like came unglued for this match. Like they were
Oh,
really
yeah, for
loud.
sure.
Like this was super over, and I think that helped this a ton. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I went 4 stars on this, and I thought this was like I think this was probably like a victim of a lot of people's expectations because I feel like people went into this expecting like a match of the year contender. And while I still think Kojima is still really good, I don't think he's someone that can get to that level anymore. But he can still get to a
Right.
notebook level for sure. He's proven that many times, but I
Hmm.
don't think he's someone that you can like expect match of the year quality out of anymore. And I think he definitely delivered at like that level where he can still deliver at this point.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Um, but it, but I no, I understand the point about like, okay, well, Kojima, is great but not elite sort of level. But I don't know. I did get the sense that they were holding something back. I think Kento was too.
I mean, maybe. I mean, we still have the All Together show coming up, so
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I could see Kento getting and having another singles match with Kojima down the line too. I think that's what I was thinking at this point
I mean, sure. I mean,
because I thought Kento might still be going to the finals.
yeah. Well, about that.
Yeah. So that is a good transition to April 30th at Osaka Edion Arena number 2 in front of 814 fans. Paul, this is the biggest number in Osaka since 2019.
Yep, the biggest one since the 2019 Real World Tag League. So yeah, I think,
Hmm.
like I said, like these Kurgan numbers have been really bad, but just looking like again, like also like the smaller shows as well, like they sold like pretty like above where they've sold previously in these buildings like recently.
Yeah.
So I really feel like this is a Hurricane problem exclusively, which not
Yeah.
great, but
Well, I
also
mean,
not yeah.
I don't want to take away all responsibility for All Japan for their numbers, but other companies are feeling the sting of Korakuen,
Yeah.
especially on the weeknights.
Yeah.
Those shows just simply aren't drawing right now.
No. Well, I mean, I think there's less of an excuse for like the show today because it's Golden Week.
Oh, for sure. It's Golden Week.
But I
Absolutely.
feel like the solution here is to just run Korakuen less.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Like back in 2019, they started doing some not so good Korakuen numbers, but they also ran Korakuen a lot more than they had in the past 2 previous years.
And that
So they've been
building,
down this
yeah,
road before where they sort of overran Korakuen.
yeah, like that building is just really badly burned out, just in general. But I
Hmm.
feel like especially for All Japan now.
Yeah. And so to open the show, we had like a special Carnival Block 8-man tag match for Block A. Kento Miyahara, Satoshi Kojima, Yuma Aoyagi, and Ryoki Honda defeated Yoshitatsu, Jun Saito, T-Hawk, and Cyrus in 8 minutes and 20 seconds when Aoyagi used an inside cradle on Saito after a low blow from Honda. But I thought that was good storytelling to set up what would eventually happen later.
Yeah.
And then Black Menso-Ray and the Bodyguard defeated Ryo Inoue and Oji Shiba in 7 minutes and 53 seconds with a camel clutch from the Bodyguard and Inoue. Paul, I thought this was a lot of fun, and I thought Inoue's exchanges with the Bodyguard were great.
Yeah.
Like, he knew how to work with a guy like that.
No, he definitely, like, this exceeded my expectations because I was like, yeah, okay, second match on the show, whatever, but then it actually ended up being pretty good for that level.
Yeah.
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 Bodyguard, like, I like Bodyguard. I wish he would work a little bit more, but I get why he also now just wants to be a guy that just wants to, like, work Osaka.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's like 50 years old, I think, now.
Again, he's actually another one of those guys. Not that Bodyguard ever became like an elite level worker, but he's also someone that started in like his mid 30s and like,
That's very
developed into like a pretty solid worker. And especially as a tag guy with Zeus, he was really
Exactly. Right. And so that's like what the Saitos are always going to be the tag team, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I think they do have like a higher ceiling than people are giving them credit for.
Yeah. Was it? Wait, did he even start in his 30s? Because he made his debut in 2009, and he's 54 now.
Oh, geez, he's even older than I thought.
Too tired to do math right now.
I know, but okay, so he's 54 now. 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, he debuted when he was 40.
Yeah, so again, he debuted even 5 years older. He was 5 years older than the Saitos are now when he made his debut.
Yeah. So there you go. And then Junior Tag Battle of Glory, Naruki Doi and Naoki Tanizaki defeated Hikaru Sato and Dan Tamura in 8 minutes and 38 seconds with the V9 clutch from Doi on Tamura, sort of hiding, building towards their match. This is sort of forgettable, but I want to say it was still good.
Yeah, no, it was, that was fine. But again, like the main one here was like to build up like Dan and
yeah.
I mean, I have thoughts on that match later. So
next up, Atsuki Aoyagi and Rising Hayato went to a draw 15 minutes with Kaito Ishida and Kotaro Suzuki. This was pretty darn good, I thought.
I mean, it was also one that finally got time because they went to the time limit, so they actually got 15 minutes, so they could actually build a proper match. And these are also like 4 great workers. So no, this I think this was like probably like was this like the best? No, I mean, excluding the final, this was like the best match of the tournament.
Yeah, for sure, right? And I thought it was like good. I mean, it's a 5-team round robin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought the booking was fine and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
It did still build anticipation because I was not confident one way or the other who was going to win in the end, like the tournament.
No, yeah, I think they did a really good job of that, just keeping people equal and just keeping people guessing until like basically the finals. Yeah.
Yeah, because they did the thing where like Tanizaki and Doi came out to watch them by the entranceway, and everything like that.
And then they didn't make the finals.
They went to a draw. So Block B, Manabu Soya defeated Takao Omori in 9 minutes and 2 seconds with the Dando. This is a little longer for Omori in this tournament. I like watching Get Wild explode and everything like that. I mean, probably one of the better Omori matches of the tournament, though that's not saying much. No. But he finishes with the old goose egg.
Yeah. It also didn't help that this match was kind of like there weren't really any stakes here. Because even if Soya gets to 8, like he wasn't gonna make the finals unless if they got really wacky, it would have resulted in like at best it would have resulted into like a 5-way tie, and they weren't gonna do that.
No, they weren't gonna do that. And then we had Hokuto Omori defeat Yuma Anzai in 9 minutes and 4 seconds to Muso Essen. I thought this was pretty good.
Yeah, I also liked
it was
them.
A nice way.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I think it was an interesting thing. I think Anzai and Hokuto haven't really interacted that much, but I think their sort of fates are somewhat intertwined in this company.
Definitely. That's actually why I really like the outcome of this match, because Yuma needs some people to overcome, and like having someone like Omori there that like he doesn't like beat immediately, I think is really helpful, because then that's something you can like go back to later.
Yep, for sure. And I think I don't know. I don't know what Hokuto's ceiling is. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
In part because of the way that this company emphasizes size, right? But I mean, I think these guys could definitely be put on high level matches.
I mean, the thing is with Omori is like I also don't think he's quite at the like working standard that like some other people are as well. Like he's not bad, but he's definitely like a step down. Like he's not an elite level worker. So
Right.
yeah, but I think he's definitely someone that like I think actually something that he could develop into as well is like a tag guy.
Yeah,
So and
for
I
sure.
think he's gonna be really good. Like actually that's actually Yuma Anzai and Hokuto Mori actually could be a really good tag team now that I think about it.
I think so too. Yeah,
But I feel like
like a young
a young team.
guy team. Yeah.
But I feel like Yuma is actually gonna get a different tag partner soon. But we'll get to that.
Yes. And then Block B, Suwama versus Rei Saito went to a double countout in 10 minutes and 20 seconds, which, we had sort of expected some sort of DQ or count out double. So they would both get 0 points. I mean, is not great, but it wasn't even, I thought, the worst Suwama match of this tournament.
No, it was not a good match, but at least it had like the double count out and everything, and that made sense, like because it also furthers the Voodoo Murderers Descent storyline. So yeah, that was fine for what it was.
Well, we've seen those Voodoo Murderers stories before.
Yeah, but I feel like it will actually lead to something now.
Yeah. Okay, and then the main event, Shotaro Ashino defeated Shuji Ishikawa in 15 minutes and 1 second with the ankle lock, and then Ashino wins the block, or Ishikawa would have won the block if he had won this match.
Mm-hmm.
This was good, but not great, I thought.
No, yeah, it was fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
3.5.
No, I mean it is really.
Ashino played his role well.
Yeah.
Ishikawa can only be in the ring against like other big guys that can throw bombs. Yeah. Which Ashino sort of is, but it's not the same as
he's
going against a Soya.
Yeah, he's also too small to do that.
Yeah.
No. Actually, okay, now that we have like the outcome of Block B, do you think this was actually the plan from the start?
Well, what was the other alternative? Like a Yuma Aoyagi versus Naoya Nomura final?
Yeah, because I also feel like given that the plan was probably always to give Yuma like the Miyahara win and the Kojima win, like it actually feels like Ashino was actually the plan from the start. Because I also feel like actually maybe some of the things that got rebooked here probably would have been more like I don't think Soya actually would have won his final match on this. I feel like actually Nomura would have beaten him here.
Yes, to get the revenge from the loss at Ota Ward.
Yeah, and I feel like that he still would have ended with 8 points, but I feel like he would have lost and been eliminated essentially from contention by Nomura.
Yes. And also there's the whole politics of the GRX champion being in the tournament.
Yeah. And
so it was like, you want him, fine, he has to go to the finals.
Exactly. And also our guy wins the other tournament.
I mean, I think it's a fair trade.
Yeah. No. If I'm All Japan, I'm definitely doing that trade where it's like, oh yeah, sure, you want to win you want your guy to win our least important tournament. And we get a really nice main event where we don't burn one of our big matchups either. Yeah, cool. Sure, we'll do that.
Not to mention we'll talk about one of the results in the next show.
Mm-hmm.
Is huge for T-Hawk as well.
Yes, that too. Yeah, no. I mean, Elite has gotten more than that pound of flesh here to allow T-Hawk to lose in the main event of the Champion Carnival.
For sure. And so we move on to May 4th today. 832 people, so it's a little better. Although not bad considering they were going up against that Sumo Hall Show of Noah's.
Yeah, but that didn't draw great either. So. Well, it also went up against the Yokohama, the Big Japan Yokohama show.
They drew 1,800. Yeah. So.
And we might talk about that show on our next show. We'll see if we get to that. But we might.
Well, there's nothing else to talk about except for the Champion Carnival finals.
True.
So we might just do that. So the special tag match, we had Naruki Doi, Naoki Tanizaki, and Oji Shiba lose to Hikaru Sato, Dan Tamura, and Ryo Inoue in 8 minutes and 32 seconds. When Sato pinned Shiba with sort of this arm bar into a pinning hold thing.
Yeah, that was weird.
I thought this was a really good opener.
No, the opener was really good. Just the finish was kind of weird. When it's just like,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. No, but I thought it was a good opener otherwise. And then Sato
You
like
had your
also
sort of.
just like immediately rolled out of the ring as well.
It's funny because like you basically had a Dragon Gate team,
Oh
and they
yeah.
worked together like a well-oiled machine.
I did not realize that until now. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. That is a Dragon Gate team. Wait, were they? No. OG Shiba never joined a faction, I think. But technically, since OG Shiba is the brother of Kotoka, this was in a way a Berserk reunion. Like a little bit at least.
Second match, Suwama, Kono, and Rei Saito defeated Shuji Shikawa, Yuma Anzai, and Takao Omori in 7 minutes and 49 seconds when Kono made Omori submit to a cross arm breaker. Interesting finish again.
Yeah.
Submission
Match,
specialist
yeah,
Kono.
exactly. Is that the reason why?
Um,
Is that the reason why Sato turned that armbar into a roll up? Because he was like, ah, shit, we're having an armbar finish in the next match. I forgot. Let me turn this into a roll up instead.
You know what? I thought the highlight of this match were the Anzai and Rei interactions.
Yeah, but again, this also continues the Voodoo Murderers shenanigans as well with Suwama just throwing a
Yes.
fit afterwards.
And lots of brawling in the crowd as well.
Yeah.
Next up, Yuji Nagata and Shotaro Ashino defeated Minoru Suzuki and Hokuto Omori in 9 minutes and 40 seconds when Ashino made Hokuto tap to the ankle lock. Nice little match.
Mhm.
And Nagata and Ashino teased dissension. They sort of came to blows at one point.
Yeah, this was when I realized that T-Hawk is making the final and Ashino's winning the whole thing.
Yep. This was good, but it was also an angle.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's nice to see Suzuki back. So kind of weirdly absent for the Champion Carnival.
Well, he's going to be back a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, now he's also like lost the 6-man tag belts as well.
Yeah. And then Yuma Aoyagi
Yeah, wait a minute.
versus
Did he work?
Yoshitatsu.
I just realized, did he work 2 matches today?
No. Dontaku was yesterday.
Oh shit. Okay, never mind.
Or 2 days ago.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, my brain's kind of fried.
he would have had to come all the way from Fukuoka to Tokyo.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, can he actually made it? That doesn't make sense. I was like, oh yeah, no wait, I mixed up the dates here.
Next up, A block. Yuma Aoyagi defeated Yoshitatsu in 7 minutes and 50 seconds with the jackknife hold when Yoshitatsu was going for his double knee crusher thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it was. It was actually pretty. Again, it's like one of those things where it's like this is actually a perfectly good little match for 7 minutes and 50 seconds because of Yuma Aoyagi and his performance.
Yeah. And also, you know who can lose clean to Yuma Aoyagi? Kento Miyahara. You know who can also lose clean to Yuma Aoyagi? Satoshi Kojima. You know who can't lose clean or who only loses to Yuma Aoyagi on a roll up? Yoshitatsu.
That's called protecting one of your assets.
Yeah, protecting the Corona International Champion.
Yep. Next up, Jun Saito defeated Ryuki Honda. And All Japan's website does not have a time listed on this match, but it got it probably didn't go more than 10 minutes, but it got a decent amount of time for what it was with the Psycho Break, which is the Cobra Cut Slam. I like this match.
Yeah, same.
I did, and I thought this was like one of Jun's best individual performances in this tournament.
Yeah, no. But I also thought like Honda did pretty well here as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
Honda's awesome.
Yeah, and he's strong. Like, because again, we were talking about like how Ashino's like kind of too small to do like stuff with Ishikawa, but I think Honda is like tall and strong enough to like because he showed that off here against.
Well, Honda's maybe 5'11" tops.
Yeah, but he is. Beef.
Yeah.
He's very beefy. But yeah, no, I thought this was like a really fun like horse match.
Honda finishes with 8 points. Oh, and I should say that Yoshitatsu finished with 2 points. It is only when it was over T-Hawk.
Yeah.
Remember how ridiculous we thought that was too?
Yeah, and then T-Hawk based that he didn't lose a match after that. This is like the last loss he took in the entire tournament until the final. Probably.
Yeah. So, and then so Honda finishes with 8 points, so that's a winning record. And then June, 6 points, that's respectable for him.
Yep.
I think they do see Ray right now as the better guy because he's got more charisma.
But they did kind of finish like closer, like in the final standings, like
Yeah, they still
8 and
protected
6
him. And
points.
I thought, June had a good back end of the tournament for him.
Yeah.
Next up, Satoshi Kojima defeated Cyrus in 9 minutes and 22 seconds with the lariat. Paul, this was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say this was the best Cyrus or Kojima match, but it was fun because Kojima can play off of a guy like Cyrus so well.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, this man is a well-versed veteran of mid 2000s All Japan, so he definitely knows how to work with like a big stiff foreigner. Plenty of experience with
Oh,
that.
he does.
And Cyrus is also way better than like a good chunk of like the former members of ROD. Which,
Yes.
maybe that's coming back, but do we want to talk about that now? Because I think this was about the time when they announced that in the show.
Oh, we missed that.
What? Did that already get announced?
Because it was right before the carnival matches started.
Okay, yeah.
So they did their stuff. They announced their like upcoming matches and like what outsiders would be on some upcoming shows. Like I said, Suzuki will be back quite a bit in June. Taiyo Kei is coming back for 2 shows on June 15th and June 17th. I did not see this coming.
No, I absolutely did not see this coming. This was like the last person I would have expected to come back.
So he'll do a Korakuen show and he'll do the June Ode Award show. Is this a retirement tour?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he last wrestled in 2019.
He hasn't wrestled in 4 years,
Yeah.
and even before that, it was very spotty.
Yeah.
Because like he went back to like he got like a business degree and stuff, and because his wrestling career is winding down and everything like that. So I could see this just being a final farewell now that like the pandemic's over and the restrictions have been lifted anyway. So maybe that's what this is. Although I can't imagine what kind of. I mean, he's like 48, I think. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of he can. I mean, he'll be in tag matches, I'm sure, but still, it's just out of left field.
To be fair, but 47 is still younger than I thought he would have been, given how long he has been wrestling.
I mean, he went into that All Japan dojo when he was like 19, I think.
Yeah.
Or 18.
Yeah. Because I mean, to maybe like the people that have only like started watching All Japan more recently, but Taiyo Kei like literally goes back to like mid 90s All Japan. Like he's been with that promotion basically forever.
Yeah, he was basically with them full time for 20 years.
Yeah.
From like, I don't know, 94 to like 2013, 2012, I think is when he started like dialing back as a wrestler.
Yeah.
He lived in the dojo. I mean, he's from Hawaii. And, I mean, I think he's what, King Curtis Iakea's nephew? Or related to King Curtis Iaukea. And he got into the dojo because Lord James Blears was also in Hawaii and knew Curtis Iaukea. And so that's how he got in.
And you also used to have the amazing name Manukeo Mossman.
Well, that's his real name.
Is that actually his real name?
Yeah.
Why is his last name Mossman? What kind of a last name is that?
So.
But also,
yeah, I mean, he got the entire.
So.
Former Triple Crown champion, former Champion Carnival winner, multiple time World Tag Team champion with like Muto.
Like everyone.
And and Minoru Suzuki and someone I'm probably forgetting. I think he was he former Tag Team title champions with Jamal?
Let me check. Yeah, that was actually, that wasn't his longest reign. The longest reign was with Suzuki, but yeah, he was with, it's okay, I can read it out. So so his first tag team championship he won with Johnny Smith in 2001.
I remember that.
Yeah, then he was IWGP
that was a fun
tag
team.
champion with Muto. Then he was All Japan tag team champion with Muto. Then he was tag team champion with Kojima. Then he was tag team champion with Jamal. Then he won the Triple Crown. Then he won the tag team champions with Kawada, which I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
Then he won the tag team champions with Suzuki. And then for his final tag team, he's a 7-time All Japan World Tag Team Champion. Like his last reign was with Akebono in 2011.
Yes, Partisan Forces.
Yes,
I
Partisan
believe
Force.
was their
That's
name.
actually what I'm wondering because Suzuki is still there. Like, because we still haven't gotten a name for the Doi Omori Suzuki faction.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he will team with Suzuki.
Yeah,
Suzuki's working those shows.
yeah. I mean, to me that would make a lot of sense, and especially like I don't think like Taioke has any interest in working like singles matches. So him teaming with Suzuki or like 6-man tag matches with like the other guys in the faction would actually like make sense. Because it's not like
Yeah.
really like the other guys that he used to team with regularly are still like around, like they either retired or dead, unfortunately.
Yeah. Although I listened to an interview with him in like, I don't know, 2019
Mm.
or 2020 maybe, and he said he was done with wrestling. So I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
So out of left
maybe
field for sure.
maybe the like maybe the urge is back after like
Yeah, that happens to many wrestlers that say they're
exactly.
never going to wrestle again.
Like he had 4
Uh,
years off basically to like recover his body, and maybe it gets boring after a while to just lay on the beaches of Hawaii.
Okay, and so the last block match of the Champion Carnival, T-Hawk defeated Kento Miyahara in 16 minutes and 45 seconds with the Night Ride. This was pretty darn good. I don't think it was quite as good as their Triple Crown match last year, but still one of the best matches of the tournament.
Yeah, no, I agree. I also went notebook on this. I don't think I didn't like it quite as much as Kojima with Miyaharu's. I think that one was still better, but I thought this was also like another like really great match. Especially like the feeling, obviously like with these two, like what you can expect is to just get a really hard finishing sequence. And that's what we got here as well, where like they just went like absolutely insane there. So no, I
Yeah.
like this one.
I will say though, some of T-Hawk's offense on Miyahara looks weird. What's the name of the move where it's like he picks him up for a back suplex but he flips him over onto their stomach?
It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't remember.
Well, anyway, if you watch that move, Kento got very, very little like room for his head.
Yes.
Like if that had been gone off a little wrong, he would have landed right on his head.
Yeah.
And the Night Ride looked a little awkward.
A little bit, but yeah, didn't bother me.
No, but I mean, I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
Is he gonna break Miyaharu's neck?
That would destroy that would end the company.
No, that is also he is
If
absolutely
anything,
getting
if
fired.
anything,
Well, not fired, but he's
the
definitely
only
not coming
thing
back.
the only thing I think, given all Japan's history, the only thing at this point that could put him out of business is Kento suffering a career-ending injury. I think.
Yeah. Is that the Vera
So-
Cruz, the one that you were talking about, the move?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Something else, maybe. But anyway, I didn't see this coming. To be completely honest
No.
with you,
And I mean, you did call like Ashino making the final.
I did call Ashino. I'm taking a victory lap on Ashino, but T-Hawk I definitely did not
No.
see coming.
It makes sense in hindsight. It makes like all of it makes a lot of sense in hindsight with him
Yes.
like winning the GRX title in like the middle of the tournament and then going on a run and like going to the final. But yeah, no, like before that, like I think it's the right choice because basically you don't like burn a big match, like one of your own big matches
Yep.
basically in the finals. And you still have like Naito and like other people at that show to like really sell tickets. And I think it's gonna be a great match as well.
Yes. Oh, I have no doubt. I mean, we're carrying on some deep Wrestle-1 lore.
This is some long-term
You know?
booking, people. Like this is going back all the way to 2019 when Ashino lost the Wrestle-1 title to T-Hawk.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And also they've actually had
Uh,
a singles match like last year in the Champion Carnival where T-Hawk won as well. So Ashino has actually never beaten T-Hawk in a singles match.
There you go. Oh, I remember that Champion Carnival finish last year because it was so ridiculous. Like he hits the T-bone suplex on T-Hawk and T-Hawk just rolls him up.
That was so weird.
Because T-Hawk was getting all of his wins on weird roll-ups in that tournament.
So hey, yeah, but
So,
that's
yeah,
definitely
I mean,
something where you
it's-
can tease that. But yeah, no, like that match was fine. But like that Wrestle-1 championship match, like I don't know if you've seen that one. That one is really.
I have.
That one is legitimately an amazing match. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if that is
and
anywhere online, but if you want to like get a preview for this match, like seek that match out, and then I think if that's the level they're getting to for the Champion Carnival final, we're in for a really good match.
Oh, I think this will be a great show.
Yeah.
Because I think Doi and Tamara will deliver, and you've got interpromotional matches.
Yep.
And stuff like that.
I actually think
We'll talk about
Dan
the
has
card
a
in a
chance
second.
of winning.
Yes.
Like, I think they've done a really
Although
good
I
job
thought-
building up Dan throughout this entire tour to actually make him into a believable challenger, because he definitely wasn't when he challenged, but he is now.
I thought Doi was going to get a little longer reign, but I would have no problem with Doi's reign ending
Yeah.
after this tournament with Dan.
Like, I would still say Doi is the favorite, but I would say
Yeah.
it's about like 66. Like, I think Dan has like a 33% chance of winning.
Yeah. Maybe even 40.
Yeah.
And then so we'll talk more about that Champion Carnival final in a second, but let's get to the main event because it's the Junior Tag Battle of Glory finals. Kaito Ishida and Kotaro Suzuki, Black Generation International, defeat Atsuki Aoyagi and Rising Hayato in 21 minutes and 48 seconds with the half Tiger suplex hold from Ishida on Hayato. This was pretty good. I don't think it was miles better than their 15-minute draw, though.
Okay. I mean, I
think it
do
was
need to
just a little
say
bit
that
better.
I kind of need to rewatch this match to give my final rating. Like, from what I saw, it was amazing. The problem was that it happened at the same time as the Access angle, and while I was pretty good at splitting my attention between the two shows, I need to say that one just completely, basically, sucked me onto one screen. So I do miss like about like 3 to 4 minutes of this match where I was just completely just paying attention to Access reuniting.
Yeah, no, I mean it was good. It was good, and it was a good finals.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the best Junior Tag Battle of Glory finals I can remember.
I mean, there's not many finals to this tournament that I can remember, so.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, even
And
with
then
like the short matches and everything, I think this was like still the best version of this tournament.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it could have been more, but it was also still very good.
Yeah. No. And like I said, I from what I saw of this match, I really loved it. So yeah. But like to actually determine whether or not I'm actually going to go notebook here, I actually need to watch the full match.
Yeah. And then, so a quick rundown of, they haven't announced the full card for Oda Ward yet, but here's what we got so far. We got Bushi, Tetsuya Naito, and Minoru Suzuki. No matches announced. Junior Special 6-man tag, Atsuki Aoyagi, Rising Hayato, L. Lindemann versus Kaito Ishida, Kotaro Suzuki, and Yutani of Black Generation International. 6-person tag match, Unagi Sayaka, Saki, and Yoshitatsu versus Hikaru Sato, Kaori Oniyama, and Yu. Junior title match, Naruki Doi versus Dan Tamura. Manabu Soya versus Kono.
That is a match.
I know. That is another Wrestle-1 tribute match in this on this card.
Oh yeah, it is.
Keno, Hiroki, and Hajime Ohara versus Suwama, Jun Saito, and Rei Saito. I think you can figure out the result.
I mean, probably it is Suwama pinning one of the juniors, probably Ohara. But
yeah,
I mean, with the whole like kind of descent thing and everything, I wouldn't be shocked if Kono wins the singles match and then there's some shenanigans in this one.
That's also possible. And then T-Hawk versus Shotaro Ashino. So like, there's no Kento or Yuma or Kojima or any of those people's matches announced yet.
Well, I mean, assume.
Paul, let me ask you this: Ashino is like 99.9% winning this match.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Paul, was there any point to Ashino winning this Champion Carnival if he doesn't beat Nagata?
Yes, because he wins something. Because he hasn't won anything
I
in
know,
this promotion ever.
But, okay, so Ashino doesn't beat Nagata, but what is Ashino ever going to do in this company again?
Be the guy that.
Because I don't think he's winning the Triple Crown if he doesn't beat Nagata. Pardon?
Be the guy that puts over Yuma Anzai.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he could win the Triple Crown. And if not, this is his peak in All Japan.
Yes. No, absolutely. If he's not beating Nagata, that is like, it's his absolute peak. But I mean, we were already talking about, him probably already getting passed by some of these younger guys. And then he like immediately turns it around and actually like goes on a run here. But this could also be like the thing where All Japan is like, look, man, we're never gonna go all the way with you, but we are willing to like have you like we're thankful for like what you've done and everything. So we're giving you a Champion Carnival, and we're giving you a match with Nagata on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's already that's already more than I thought they were gonna give him.
Well, certainly more than I thought a month ago.
Yeah. And I mean, I do think there is a chance he beats Nagata. Like, I don't think he like.
I think so too.
I think he has a chance. But that one, I think he's less of a chance than Dan beating Doi.
And if Ashino does win the Triple Crown, is he losing it to Yuma?
Yeah.
Aoyagi?
Yeah. I feel like he is. Like, if he's winning it, then I think he is losing it to Yuma. If Nagata is winning this, then I think he's losing the title at the All Together show.
Oh, really? At that show?
Yeah.
Because the only thing is they've got an Oda Award later in June.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that. Like, yeah, maybe altogether it's just gonna be 6-man tags or whatever.
I
But
think so.
I don't know. Like, they're doing this whole like All Japan titles being on outsiders. So I don't know. To me, it would also make sense if they like basically have like All Japan kind of like getting back some titles. Like maybe not all of them, but at least some of them at that show.
Maybe. It just doesn't seem like what they would do on that show, just given history.
It is, but like, yeah, I don't know. But they also weren't these kind of like lengthy like interpromotional storylines that they have been doing with All Japan this year.
That's true.
Because it is like a lot of it is built around like overcoming like outsiders or like still like falling just short. Like again, like for example, like the finals of like the Junior Battle of Glory again were like another example of that, where it's like, and yet again, like the All Japan wrestlers come short against the outsiders and like lose the thing, and then you like basically use that as like a setup for like, well, so far all of the All Japan wrestlers have like lost against all of the outsiders, and now finally Ashino, like an All Japan guy, finally beats one of the outsiders in a big spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then so quick few match announcements. May 18th, Shinkiba. Previously announced Yuma Anzai versus Ryo Inoue, which should be awesome. Yeah. But also, Paul, did you see this match announcement?
Yes, I thought and I was like, oh man, I know Gerard is going to be excited about this one.
Evolution finally enters All Japan when it's, well, they team with Saki, and it's Zones and Chi-Chi and Saki versus the Colors team of Hikari Shimizu, Rina Amikura, and Yuko Sakurai. Mm-hmm. So I did not expect this, but I guess there is going to be that, and they will be on some shows. June 3rd in the Sun Machida Asahi Gymnasium in Machida, Tokyo, got Kento and Yuma Aoyagi versus Suwama and Yuma Anzai. And Paul, this is what set off your alarm bells,
it's
right?
very obvious that Suwama is going to be a face here. It's very obvious that like him and Kono are losing against Keno and Soya, and then Suwama's getting kicked out of Voodoo Murderers.
Now, is Suwama and Anzai eventually going to beat Keno and Soya?
Yeah, because I think that it just makes a lot of sense. Like, because that way, like I think Suwama and Anzai are a really good tag team. Or have the potential to be a really good tag team. I think that's the perfect spot to put Anzai in. Like, if you want to push him, which they very clearly do. Like putting him with Suwama.
And it's also the perfect spot for Suwama.
Yeah, exactly. Like Suwama can be like hidden, Anzai can like still like learn a lot of stuff, and he can like I think this is like a really good decision. And if you want to like really show that you're like willing to like go heavy on Anzai, I think having him win the tag titles off of the Invaders is a good idea, especially with the like newly turned face legend of the company as well, who is also kind of like your biggest. Again, we know that Suwama loves Anzai. He just couldn't really do anything with him because he's a heel. So to me, it just makes all the sense in the world that he finally turns face and he can finally like work with Anzai the way he wants to.
Yep. Then we have Shuji Ishikawa and Masashi Takeda versus Shotaro, Ashino, and Ryuki Honda, which should be pretty good. And Paul, this one I think I might be looking forward to the most. Satoshi Kojima and Yuji Nagata versus the Saitos. It's going to rule, Paul.
Yeah, no, I'm actually curious, really curious about this match. I mean, some of it depends kind of on the effort level of Kojima and Nagata, but if they're like willing to work, I think this has potential.
Yeah. And then, and then it's like Minoru Suzuki is working June 11th, 15th, and 17th. Taiyo Kea, June 15th and 17th. And then we're celebrating Shuji Ishikawa's 20th anniversary in pro wrestling. And so he's going to have 2 anniversary matches. The first is on June 15th at Korakuen Hall. It's Shuji Ishikawa, Kohei Sato, and Ren Ayabe versus Jun Saito, Rei Saito, and Kono.
Yeah, look
So
who's
it's the
not
tall
on that
boys.
Voodoo Murderers team.
Yes. Okay, yeah, you're right. That's even better evidence than the other one.
Yeah. And actually, the
If you
next
ask me.
match we're going to talk about as well.
Yes. And then at Otaward Gym on June 17th, Violent Giants reunite.
Yeah.
It's Shuji Ishikawa and Suwama versus Daisuke Sekimoto and Yuji Okabayashi.
Now that is a
In-
callback to like 2018, 2017 All Japan.
2019.
Yeah.
And now it's not going to be good as their matches in 2019
No,
were.
it's not. But yeah.
I would dare argue that Suwama is actually not that much worse off than he was in 2019.
But Ishikawa.
But Ishikawa and
yes.
Sekimoto
Yes.
have definitely declined
Yes.
since 2019.
Definitely.
In fact, that was probably Ishikawa's last like top level, like high quality run.
Yeah. No, I think that's very easy to say. Okay, so if they're not putting Anzai and Suwama together, do you think this is like this is a more permanent reunification of Violent Giants?
No.
Yeah.
It's just a 20th anniversary one-off.
Yeah, it's like that time has passed as well.
I think they I don't know. Like they will reunite tag team. I mean, they lasted a little too long.
Yes, they are
Yeah.
legitimately one of my all-time favorite tag teams, and I was very happy when they finally broke up because they were like way past where they should have. They broke up a year too late, basically.
Yeah. I hope they wear their little like Fantastics sequin vests.
Yes. No, like now that it's been a while, now that they've broken up, now I'm actually like nostalgic for it. So I'm really looking forward to it. I have very unrealistic expectations for this match, not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, I mean it'll be great as long as they don't like reunite them and shove them down our throats again.
Yeah, no, but like just this
then
match,
them doing this every so often will be fun.
I'm really struggling not expecting a 2019 match out of this, and I know it can be, but I just really loved this matchup back then. Like this was so fucking good.
Yeah, I rewatched those matches not that too long ago. I think in like last December.
Mm-hmm.
And they were still awesome.
Yeah, and I mean this is actually okay now that like not that like All Japan TV has like a great library, but like I mean it's been around long enough that like these matches are on there. Like you can actually go back and watch them if you have if you got All Japan TV like for the Champion Carnival and you want to like stick.
Well, actually, not both. Well, there's a match in Big Japan. I don't think that's on there.
Yeah. Okay. No. But like all of the All Japan
Strong
matches
BJ won the titles. Strong BJ won the titles in Big Japan, and then dropped them in All Japan.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. Still, like that match is on there, so like you can watch it.
Yeah.
It should be like one of the earliest ones as well. Like one of the like.
No, because it started in 2018.
Ah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But still, like you can find it.
Yeah. So that is that. Any final thoughts before we go, Paul?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Carnival finals. Like I think that has potential to be like really, really top match, and like just the way the Carnival has worked in the past, like it always builds to like peaking with the finals. Like really, like so if we just look at the way like they've done this in the past, like the finals have always been the best match of the Carnival in recent years, and I have a feeling it's going to be the same this year.
Even in the notorious 2020 Carnival.
Yeah. There was the one good match of the entire tournament. And that was a fucking match of the year contender. The entire tournament was utter dog shit, and then Zeus and Miyahara just go out there and have like one of the best matches of the entirety of 2020.
Yeah. So I have you can bank on that finals being a great match for sure. And so we'll be back, I think, next week because we might as well knock off the Champion Carnival finals while they're fresh. And we will try to take a look at the Big Japan show at Yokohama Budokan that drew 1,800 people. I don't know if they discounted the tickets again like they did last year or not, or what that was. But that's pretty impressive.
But yeah.
Yeah. All right. So for Paul Vosh, I'm Gerard DeTroyo, and we'll see you next week.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-Star Match Game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.
Do you love wrestling? Do you love all elite wrestling? Make sure you check out the good, the bad, and the hungy here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. My name is Tyler Fornes, and my co-host Fred Moreland and I discuss all the happenings of all elite wrestling across the universe, including when they make trips overseas. We talk about Dark, we talk about Rampage, we talk about Dynamite, and everything in between, including Tony Khan and his both brilliant and confusing booking. Make sure you check us out. We drop our shows on Thursdays to make sure that we keep up with Dynamite and make sure we give you all the current happenings in all elite wrestling.